we find out that Chinese nationals are looking at buying land in Iowa or Nebraska or North Dakota, they're interested in our corn hybrid seed. They're interested in our technology. They want the plans, and they're using cyber attacks to try and figure out how to make one of these John Deere tractors.
You're watching Restoring America, where we shine a light on the fundamental values of this country and all of the reasons why they're worth saving. This week, we're going to talk about one of the subtle but still deadly ways China is trying to undermine our country. I'm Kaylee McGee-White. Let's get started. For years now, China has been buying up thousands of acres of agricultural land in the United States. In fact, between 2010 and 2020, Chinese purchases of American farmland increased by 5,300%. It's estimated that the Chinese Communist Party now owns about 350,000 acres of U.S. farmland. Make no mistake, this is a serious national security threat with implications for our food supply chain, data privacy, and more. With me to discuss more about this is someone who's very familiar with this issue and has been sounding the alarm about China's land grab in his own state of Nebraska and in the rest of the country. Before we get to Congressman Mike Flood, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And be sure to head to washingtonexaminer.com. Joining me today from Capitol Hill is Congressman Mike Flood, who introduced legislation in the House to prevent individuals and companies affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party from buying U.S. agricultural land. Congressman, thanks very much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
This issue of China's land grab is a very big one for you, especially in your home state of Nebraska. And one of the things that you've highlighted is the threat to our food supply chain if China is buying all this agricultural land. Can you explain more about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, we feed the world, and not just in livestock, but in grains. And when we find out that Chinese nationals are looking at buying land in Iowa or Nebraska or North Dakota, they're interested in our corn hybrid seed. They're interested in our technology. They want the plans, and they're using cyber attacks to try and figure out how to make one of these John Deere tractors. And I can tell you, it is a big issue for a lot of Nebraskans in agriculture. And the FBI office in Omaha, they have literally hundreds of people working on this just to protect what we have.
Another concern here is how little oversight there seems to be of foreign purchases of agricultural land. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has essentially admitted that it is not tracking the foreign purchases as it's supposed to. What can we do in government to restore accountability over this issue?
Well, I'm a member of the Financial Services Committee, and I can tell you there's a federal agency called CFIUS. CFIUS monitors foreign investment in the United States. We are providing a lot of direct oversight, making sure they understand how important this is. There's been some concerns about land being bought around Minot, North Dakota's Air Force Base by Chinese nationals. They're looking into that. It's going to take resources, and it's going to take vigilance. I tell farmers and ranchers in Nebraska all the time, if you see something, say something. Even if it's a Canadian buying land in Nebraska, let's drill into that and make sure that's not a third-party transaction that originated in China.
I'm glad you mentioned the Air Force Base as well, because another concern that you've highlighted is that many of these purchases are being made near or adjacent to sensitive military sites or critical infrastructure sites. Can you explain more about that threat as well?
Well, my district is home to STRATCOM, where we command and control the nuclear arsenal, our bombers, our submarines, and our ICBM missiles. We already know that cell companies have Huawei equipment around all of our Minuteman ICBM missiles in western Nebraska, providing the Chinese government the ability to get as much data as they want. And so we're working to replace that. We're demanding that it be replaced. I think when that spy balloon drifted over off at Air Force Base, it woke a lot of Americans up, but this has been going on for a very long time. We have to take it seriously. If you are buying land around a military installation, it should be scrutinized to the fullest extent of the law, and I have been communicating with federal officials. Like I said, the FBI office in Omaha, I've been there. I know that they're looking into this. I know that counterterrorism and working to deter China is part of their mission, but we cannot have enough resources right now because we are outgunned and outmanned with some of the things that are happening.
Absolutely, it's a very important issue, and we are going to be keeping an eye on it. Thank you very much for being here at Congressman Flood. This has been Restoring America, and be sure to check out more at washingtonexaminer.com.